Hey Sagittarius, it's Regina here from Tarot and Time in Kent, Connecticut. Let's talk about the month of September using tarot and astrology for everyday living. So I always love doing Sagittarius because I am a Sag sun too, so it's always curious what's going to come up. We know that our ruling planet Jupiter is in the sign of Cancer, an exalted position for it, best placement for Jupiter. And so we have to just savor the next 10 months of this, okay? I was listening to Sheila Height's week ahead report for this week, and she was talking about Jupiter representing the law. And I forgot about that. I forgot that Jupiter is kind of like the higher octave of the law, and that when Jupiter is in Cancer like this, things can work out for us. Like if you had to be in court or if there was some kind of lawsuit, things can work out in your favor. So that's good to know. Okay. Something I had forgotten about. Now, Uranus, the oh wow planet, is opposite us in Gemini. It's going to be there for a while till 2033, I believe. So we're going to have to get used to it. There can be a lot of sudden things that come in, but it can also bring us sudden opportunities. But it's definitely going to want our attention as it's opposite us in the sign of Gemini. Now, what else is going on? Well, we have a trine happening with Venus while it's in the fire sign of Leo. So that's lovely to have a trine, a positive aspect. And that goes on till the 18th of the month. So enjoy that. Enjoy the harmony. Enjoy the spice of Leo, of Venus in Leo. Okay. And hopefully that reflects into your love life. Now, we also have a trine with Neptune, the planet, the great healer, the planet of creativity, the planet of illusion and delusion, trining us in the sign of Aries. This is the last month. It'll be retrograding back into Pisces next month. Speaking of Pisces, Saturn's hanging out in Pisces. Just moved back there, 29 degrees Pisces. So we have a square with Saturn, the planet of responsibility. We also have a square when Venus moves into Virgo on the 18th of the month, and we basically are squaring all the planets in Virgo because Virgo's a mutable sign, and so are we. So, the sun's there most of the month till the 22nd. Mercury's in Virgo from 9/2 to 9/18. So all these squares. So squares are 90-degree angles. So we may have some things that are going to come up and we have to deal with them, and they may be challenging. So savor the trine with Venus until the 18th. Now, what else? That means that we square the Pisces full moon and the Virgo new moon because those are all mutable signs. Mutable signs make squares. And so we are going to be squaring the full Pisces moon on the 7th of the month. That is also going to be a lunar eclipse. So we are not going to be able to get away with not letting go of the old stuff because it's going to be hitting us. And if we don't deal with it properly, we've got a problem with the square. So anything on weak ground will collapse. It may feel intense during this Pisces full moon and lunar eclipse on September 7th. Their key to this is to stay zen, to stay calm. What's leaving actually left a long time ago. Let's get real about it. Okay. Clear away dead wood to make room for new growth. We're not going to really have a choice in the matter. And the more we fight it, we're not necessarily going to win. We're going to have to deal with it. We're going to have to get zen and move forward. Okay. Now, what else? Let's talk about the next eclipse that's going to happen. And I'm flipping through my notes here because there's so many notes for the month. Oh my goodness, so many planetary changes. Mercury's moving really fast and changed signs twice. So the Virgo new moon is on 9/21, and it comes with a solar eclipse that wants to bring us something. So we really have to look at, it's going to be opposite Saturn because Saturn's in Pisces. And this is just off the charts. It's just pretty wild. So we have to take a look at things like our health, our wealth. There's emphasis on the body. There's things about rest and diet and meditation, and that we just can't burn the candle at both ends. And boy, do I need to hear myself say this. We need to take care of ourselves. We need to cut back on spending and consolidate and allow this eclipse to ground us in the earth sign of Virgo. Okay. So we're not going to be able to get away with it. Like, I know I'm going like a crazy person all the time. So Sag, we tend to be like that. We're always fast moving and thinking about the next thing. And we're going to have to get real on the September 21st. We're going to have to really take a look at these things. All right, let's roll some dice. Let's see what themes we have. I just get confused if that's Pluto or Neptune. That's Pluto in the sign of Aquarius, which it's actually in right now, in the 10th house. Okay, so Pluto recently moved in November into Aquarius. Pluto wants to bring change. Aquarius is all about newness, new technology. It rules things like AI and the internet. Aquarius rules large groups of people also, but it's the genius of the zodiac. So we've got Pluto in Aquarius in the 10th house, Capricorn's house of your long-term standing. It may have some career themes. So there may be some transformation and change in those regards. Okay, let's put that to the side and see. We'll refer back to that. All right, let's put some cards on the table. We're looking for overall themes for Sagittarius this month. What Sagittarius needs to know. The first card I'm putting on the table is from the Curious Travels deck, my new favorite. I'm going to put one from the Magical Hours Tarot, which was one of my recent favorite new finds. One from the Pastoral Tarot, which has just been a favorite of mine for a while. Beautiful French countryside. And then let's get a Spirit of the Animals Oracle on the table to represent your spirit animal energy for the month. Okay, let's see what we have here, and then we'll go a little deeper. So the first card showing up is the Page of Cups. Now, I love how shimmery her necklace looks. Cup on top of her head, the fish swimming over it. Page of Cups. Page is young energy. Cups is creative energy. Okay, so we've got some creative energy showing up here. We've got the Seven of Swords. There's a lot of thought going on there. She's got two swords crossed. She's blindfolded. This is the Two of Swords. So she's kind of at a crossroads here. She knows the answers are not external. The answers are internal in her feelings to decide which way to go, as the Page of Cups is teaching her. We have the Eight of Pentacles here, the card of hard work. We've already talked about how we're going to need to take care of our health and well-being. And she's just working. Page of Cups is kind of a playful energy. The Eight of Pentacles is a work hard energy. And then we have the two, kind of the relationship of both in the middle, crossed, okay? Not sure which way to go. Let's see what your spirit animal is for the month. And it's the grizzly bear. Power. I am indestructible. I honor my intuition and I go where it leads. Love and gentleness are my real strength. I never give up. I will succeed. Isn't that cool? Love and gentleness are my real strength. I am indestructible. It's quite a creature. Okay, so if intuition, I honor my intuition, I go where it leads. So we're thinking about where we're going here, but the intuition is where the answers are, right? We're real good at all this human work stuff, Sag. We can do it, we know, but the intuition is key. So that's going to show us where we need to move ahead. Now, let's go deeper. Okay, let's go deeper here. Let's talk about, and we know a bear sleeps a lot, right? Hibernates, right? Goes into a deep rest. We know we're talking about burnout, and we know that we need some play also. All right. It's eating fish fresh out of the water. All right, let's make a pile here. I'm calling it the Saturn pile because it has themes of work, has themes of long-term success, whether that be you raising children, working in a career. taking care of loved ones. All of those things of responsibility are here in this pile. And let's see what you need to know this month ahead. Let's go ahead and make a Venus pile, talking about your relationships and love and harmony in your relationships. Let's see what you need to know. A couple cards on there. We're going to make a pile up on the top left here for your biggest obstacle this month. All right. What is Sagittarius's biggest challenge and obstacle this month? Let's get another one up in that pile. And then what is Sagittarius's biggest gift, biggest opportunity this month? What does that look like? All right, let's see. All right, let's start in the Saturn pile. And our first card is the Five of Wands. Kind of reminds me almost of that Two of Swords, like split in two directions. Five of Wands, almost like, what do they say in business? If you could just like make copies of yourself, so because you end up doing most of the things yourself. And oh, there's some people going this way, some people going that way. So Five of Wands is sometimes where there's an argument, but I think that this is more, there's something about you like there's something about two directions. We keep getting like two swords, these Five of Wands split like that. Let's keep going and see what's going on. But we know five is change, and we know Wands is fire, just like you, Sag. Three of Pentacles, so there's teamwork there, building, right? So there's a parting of the ways here. Like maybe there was some people that left, or, I can relate to it as a small business, like letting some people go, but bringing some new people in. Here's the Three of Pentacles, showing them working together, all right, building some strong foundation here. And the Strength card, Leo card, joy. You can see her kind of sitting in the flowers there in the lion's paws. So I really do think, let me put a clarifying card over this Five of Wands. What are you trying to tell me through this Five of Wands? I got two. One's the Nine of Cups and one's the Four of Wands. Okay, and this Nine of Cups came up. Okay, it came up straight up. All right. But those cups are upside down. So it almost looks like a lot of emotion spilling out. Four of Wands, there's like two bees there flying together. I think that you had some people that weren't lined up to your core values. Maybe there was some splitting of teams in your work. Maybe there was a parting of ways with something, but it looks like it was a good thing, because everything's showing me that you're moving like into working with the right people, into joy and love. This is partnership right here. And this is the Nine of Cups, which really is the Make-A-Wish card. It's just an interesting version with the cups upside down like that. Water flowing, emotion flowing. All right, so get clear what you want this to feel like, what you want this to be like. But I think that you have, and that's why it's starting to go that way. Now let's go into the Venus pile. Let's see what you need to know in regards to your relationships. And you have the Four of Pentacles. And she's holding all these coins, all these things of value dear to her heart. She's kind of floating over this like village here. Four of Pentacles, holding on to what is yours, not spending money not squandering, okay? Looks like a European country down here to me. So maybe you're saving your money to spend time with your loved ones. Here's the Magician, which does rule other people's money. And the Magician is all about being the alchemist and having all the elements to make magic happen. And the High Priestess, okay, and two in relationship. She's in her power, all right? So there's a lot here that I don't necessarily, like every card kind of almost seems like they're alone, but they have, it's almost like I think you're saving money to be around the people you want to be around. And you are connected with the divine, with the High Priestess here. So keep saving, keep connecting. It feels very beautiful to me. Okay. You're not alone. Even if you feel alone, you are not alone. Your biggest obstacle this month is the Hierophant. Now, the Hierophant is usually a priest, right? Or somebody being looked up to. It's interesting how it's almost like feels like the high priestess in there. And they're looking up to her. They're holding these protective evil eye symbols in front of her. So some of the challenge might be just being in a position of power. Some of it might be this is like a teacher, the Hierophant. So there may be some challenges there. It's a 5, so it's a change. The Hierophant often represents religious beliefs also. So we've got the Hierophant as your challenge, along with the King of Wands. King of Wands wants freedom. He's you, Sagittarius. He's a fire king. And so he's your challenge. So you may almost like you want to go, but you're held down to responsibilities. Okay. There's something about that. Now let's see what your biggest opportunity is here. And you have the Page of Cups. So we've got a lot of creative energy here. She's sipping on a cup of tea. Page of Cups. Well, that was the first card that showed up over here with this beautiful shimmery necklace. And so your intuition is super high this month. And there's also some themes of playfulness. And the Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands is your opportunity, but your King of Wands is your obstacle. The Queen receives, right? So it's almost like the obstacle is the action of going out, but the opportunity is to receive. It's almost like you don't have to chase it. You just have to sit here and be at the right place at the right time. So maybe less about chasing and more about receiving. Okay. Giving yourself some creative space, knowing that the answers are coming from the inside, from connecting upward. Okay. And I see some shifts here about maybe your religious beliefs or your maybe some of the things you've been brought up believing. There's some shifts there. All right. And that may be a little bit challenging, but it really looks very beautiful to me overall, Sagittarius. So let's see if I missed anything else. Let's see, is there anything else? And I got a jumper card that Sagittarius needs to know. And it's the Ace of Wands, and there's new growth, new opportunities that's vining upward. Aces to me are very lucky. Remember, we're going to be in a 1 year next year. We've got this one here. So stay focused. Try to work on the balance between rest and play. Remember that the answers are in feeling. And I think you're going to have a great month. So enjoy it. And thanks for listening.